Hi there. Let us talk about the atom. By now, you must have come across it in several lessons and may have used it to explain certain phenomena or principles. So, in this lesson, we shall be discussing how we came to our current understanding of the atom. For centuries, philosophers and scientists wondered what matter is made up of. And after doing lots of experiments and research, it was agreed that matter was made up of very tiny particles called atoms. This was so named after the Greek word atomos, which means indivisible, because ancient philosophers believed that an atom was the smallest possible particle, and so they termed it the indivisible. Scientists have debated the structure and properties of atoms for centuries. Some, like John Dalton, Sir J.J. Thomson, Ernest Rutherford, and Niels Bohr, have gone further to speculate on what an atom looks like and what it contains. These are what are called atomic models, and we shall discuss these models in a subsequent lesson. Now, since the size of an atom is so small, no picture of an atom has been or even can be taken. However, experiments and research give us an understanding of what an atom looks like. Putting this another way, what we have is the latest model of what an atom should look like based on its properties. An atom consists of a very dense center called the nucleus. The nucleus contains two types of particles called the proton and the neutron. These are held together by a strong force called the nuclear force. The proton was discovered to have a positive charge, while the neutron has a neutral charge and is slightly heavier than the proton. Now, since the proton is positively charged and the neutron has a neutral charge, this makes the nucleus positively charged. And most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in this nucleus. The total number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus of an atom is called the mass number of the atom, while the number of protons in the nucleus of the atom is called the atomic number. Revolving around this nucleus are tiny particles called electrons, which revolve around the nucleus in what are called orbits. Electrons are negatively charged and are attracted to the nucleus by a force called the electrostatic force. Now, this force is a non-contact force that exists between charged particles, and its magnitude increases with decreasing distance between these particles. So, since this nucleus is positively charged and the electron is negatively charged, the electrostatic force keeps the electrons in the atom. The closer the electron is to the nucleus, the stronger the force of electrostatic attraction. Now, based on our knowledge of charges, when an atom has the same number of electrons in its orbit as the number of protons in its nucleus, the positive charges of the protons cancel out the negative charges of the electrons, and therefore an atom has a neutral charge. But when an atom loses one or more electrons, it then becomes positively charged. And when it accepts one or more electrons, it becomes negatively charged. Such charged atoms are called ions. But atoms rarely exist alone in nature. They either combine with other similar atoms to form molecules, as in oxygen gas, or combine with different atoms to form compounds, as in water. And when atoms combine, they do so through sharing or donating their electrons. This creates what are called bonds, and these bonds are what hold two or more atoms together to form a compound. So now that we know the properties of an atom, let's look at their structure in detail in the next lesson. See you soon.